and I walked on all fours. I decided I have to make it.
How? Show us.
I was climbing those.
So what is your take on the tipping culture in Mount Kilimanjaro?
Actually, I think I was discouraged by the way they take it. It's like they expect a certain amount. We were told by the company that was taking us, the guides, the porters, they expect this much as a tip after hiking. And I was shocked because I thought tipping is a gift.
It's supposed to be voluntary.
Yes.
Not an obligation.
Yeah, but this one was like they expect. And if you don't, they frown on it. That's actually the word they used. They will frown on it.
Mm.
Yes.
So what were the amounts like?
We were told they expect nothing less than $100 per person.
Minimum?
Yes, minimum, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're going to Kilimanjaro, just to be aware that you'll be expected to tip.
Yes.
Even if it's frowned upon in your country or not, that is the culture there. What about the attitude of the guides?
Some of them, especially during the last day of summiting, they would look at you and just say like, you're not going to make it. And they will tell you, don't go. You will not make it. It's tough up there. If you're feeling bad now, you're feeling bad there. So it was very discouraging.
Was it something that was random, or was it a particular kind of climber that they told this?
Of course, they looked at your pace. They know you've heard about the Team Subaru, Team Tuk Tuk. So they know you're not going to make it. You've always been one of the last ones. So you're not going to make it. And I think they also want a success story. So they expect the Team Subaru to make it. So they'll discourage those who are at the back. But they didn't know, sometimes it's not about speed, it's endurance.
What do you mean by Team Subaru and Team Tuk Tuk?
Team Subaru is a vehicle that moves very fast in Kenya. So you're expected to move very fast like Team Subaru. So Team Subaru is the team that goes, they're number ones. And Tuk Tuk is the three-wheeler which moves so slowly. So like me and you are Team Tuk Tuk.
Actually, we usually joke I was the chairman of Team Tuk Tuk,
yes.
and you was the secretary of Team Tuk Tuk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But were there people from Team Subaru who failed to summit?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's when I knew it's not about speed. Mm-hmm. Sometimes your body will refuse. The endurance of your body, because our pace that we started with, we took it to Kilimanjaro. So your pace is very important. You don't have to walk fast. You don't have to run. It's not about speed. So I saw 2 people being evacuated who are at the Team Subaru. And there are people who are Team Tuk Tuk, and they submitted.
Yes.
It was it was humbling.
It was humbling.
Yes.
Yeah, just to remember, I think the first people in Team Subaru submitted at 9:15. Mm-hmm. And I think the last person from Team Tuk Tuk submitted, I think maybe at 1 p.m. or something.
See?
But she did still submit.
She did, yes.
Yeah.
At her pace. Yes.
Wow. So seeing people being evacuated or people being affected by altitude sickness, how did that affect you?
Personally, I would still go on. I'd feel bad that they are not making it, but sometimes you don't have to look at people failing because that's your body. So I still went ahead. I wasn't scared about it. It just shook me a little bit, but I moved on. Yes.
Maybe let's go back to Mount Kenya. Mm-hmm. Tell us about your best memories on Mount Kenya.
On my second attempt of Mount Kenya, I had made up my mind I was going to do it, whatever it takes. So it was around 12:30, and I was told the turn back time is 1 p.m. And I had this bag with water, and I'm just about to summit. Maybe in another 30 minutes, I could see the peak. I decided to get rid of my bag and the water and the gears. I said, I'm going the way I am. So I gave out my bag and I walked on all fours. I decided I have to make it.
How? Show us.
I was climbing those stones because it's very hilly before you get to Lanana. I went on my all fours and I didn't want to listen to anybody. And I made it.
You made it.
That was my best moment. And when I got there, I cried.
You cried.
I cried.
You like crying.
I get so emotional sometimes.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. I went up there and I could see I'm on top of Kenya. I got overwhelmed. I cried. Then I picked up myself and came back.
How long did you stay at the peak?
Just a few moments, maybe not more than 10 minutes to take pictures and come down, because they also tell you not to take a lot of time at that peak.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to start, is it called declimatization? Something like that. Like you have to lose altitude very fast, so that you don't get sick there. So you spend a maximum of 10 minutes. And then the time was running. I didn't want to be left behind alone.
And what do you mean by you got rid of your bag? What happened to the bag?
I gave to one of the guides to go back with it, because he told me if I go with this bag, you're not getting it. I said I'd rather find some water on the way. So I just left the bag and he went. And it got lighter for me to go up.
And summit.
Yes.
Okay. You said that you would consider, or you're planning to return to Kilimanjaro.
Yeah. The Barranco Wall.
On which mountain?
On Mount Kilimanjaro. There were some rocks and very, very scary places to climb. And where you're going, it was my worst experience. I cried. I cried when I was climbing those stones.
Out of fear or out of return to Mount Kilimanjaro?
Wow. Definitely yes. I will. Yes.
Why? Why is this so significant?
I'll be turning the big O.
What is a big O? Translate.
I'll be turning 50 years next year. And it's a big one for me. And that's the only thing I would want to do for myself. There are people who want to go cruise. There are people who want to go for a party. But that's something I want to do on my 50th birthday. That's next year.
That is returning maybe a year later to Kilimanjaro?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because the last time I was turning 49. So a year later, I hope to be at the roof of Africa.
Now that you'll be returning, what are the important lessons you think you will take with you?
Number one, I think definitely you have to be prepared mentally. You have to say it's happening. Layering is very important. Layering mean the clothes you wear, because if you wear too much, you might get too hot. If you wear too little, so depending on how the weather is, layering will be very important. I'll also be thinking about where I spend the night before the summit day. I'd want to go closer to a camp called Kosovo, so that I can at least cut some hours and be able to summit. So
in your discussion today, you've talked a lot about turn back time. So what is turn back time?
Turn back time is usually the time that you have to get back from your hiking, because sometimes there are mountains where it's dangerous to be in the forest after 6 p.m. So you want by 6 p.m. you must be back in your vehicles. So they have a time that they say at this time, wherever you are, even if you have not summited, you have to come back.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. And now tell us, we hear when people go to Kilimanjaro, they take medicine. Did you take any medicine for altitude sickness, or what medicine did you have with you?
I did not get affected by the altitude sickness, but I had my painkillers, because sometimes you'll have a headache and you need to sleep so that you can wake up early. So I had my painkillers. Mostly they tell you you do not have to carry painkillers or whatever medicine you take, but you know your body better. So you know what works for you.
So please, our dear viewer, this is not medical advice, but our own experience. Carry whatever medicines you normally take with you. You have no guarantee of getting them on the trail. So what advice would you give to that person planning to climb a big mountain?
Number one, you have to do preparation hikes. You don't wake up today and say, I'm going to Kilimanjaro. So you have to go to lower altitude mountains to prepare yourself. And specifically, I was told Elephant Hills and Satima are good in helping you with acclimatization. So it's very important to hike those two before you go to Kilimanjaro. And then you have to have your day pack always. Day pack is the bag that you carry your day gear that has water, that has your rain gear, because weather in the mountains can change. And it's also good so that you're used to carrying it before you go to Kilimanjaro, so that you know the kind of weight that you can carry.
Okay.
Yes. And the most important, summiting is not a guarantee. You should be prepared. Things happen, the rains might come, you might get sick, you might get tired. So don't kill yourself because you're not summiting. The mountain is still there. You will still find it next year. It's been there for years. So don't kill yourself of a hike of summiting.
Forgive yourself if you don't summit.
Yeah, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to summit. You can always do another time. Yes.
Okay. Wow, that is. So, what is the next mountain? You've done Kenya, you've done Kilimanjaro. It's more or less a done deal. What is the other mountain?
I'm thinking of doing Mount Meru in Tanzania. I'm also thinking of Gulira. I remember you mentioning it to me, so I hope we can do it together.
Which one?
Gulira trekking in Rwanda.
Maybe.
And I have heard that the base camp at Everest is not very bad. I don't know how true that is.
Me, I'll not go with you.
Okay, we'll see about that.
Yeah, but you can try it, and then you come and tell me about trekking to Everest base camp.
Wow.
Maybe I'll change my mind about that.
Right.
I want you to look at that camera and speak to that older woman who has thought about climbing a mountain, whether it's physical or visual or figurative. What do you say to that woman? That woman in her 40s, 50s, 60s. Tell her something.
Number one, hiking is not for the youth. It's for everyone. And to you, older woman, you is going to 50s like me or beyond. The mountain is you. If you conquer yourself, you can conquer anything.
So Mary is the proprietor of Marina Pure, which is a company that supplies drinking water. They also do branding. Please support her quest to go to Everest Base Camp by consuming Marina Pure water.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you for being here. We'll wait to cheer you on as you trek to Everest Base Camp.
Let's hope so.
Yes.